Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I wanted to talk about why you gain weight in the belly, right? This is really specific for women too. This is happens like 5 times faster in the female body than it does in the male body, right? Because our bodies physiologically shift and change throughout the month, right? As our hormones change, our reaction to stressors and other things changes. Great, right? And then as you go through perimenopause and menopause, you get a whole new body to live in. That also has a completely different response to things too, which means that you're going to store a lot of things right in that belly fat because it's the most protective. Most protective. Your whole system is like, something's wrong, something's off. I know. We're just going to hold on to it. We're just going to keep it nice and snug and protected from everything. Hold on to it for you forever. So when we talk about belly fat, one of the things to realize is that this is not something that you can out exercise past. That's not a thing here, right? This is not something that you can, eat cleaner to attain here. That's not what this is about, right? I was going over a Dutch test today with somebody and looking at the results, I was like, holy cannoli. This is why, your hormones are this far off. This is why no matter what you do, I don't care how hard you exercise or whatever, it's not going to change because of these levels here. And because these things get stuck in fat cells. Oh, these are fat cells. I probably should have said that first. I get so excited about talking about stuff. Obviously, these are fat cells, clearly. Yeah, little circles, little discs, right? Yes, yes. So in talking about that, you have different types of fat in your body, but when we talk about belly fat especially and how women store things in belly fat. Hi, Stephanie. Right? So true. Yes. Oh my gosh. Your fat cells, right? You don't get more cells and then the cells disappear and go somewhere else when you lose weight. No, the cells expand and shrink like a balloon. And you have the same number of them. They just get bigger or smaller. Now, one of the really just come on things about it is that we're so used to being able to, let's just exercise harder. Let's just do that. Mary, my cortisol is so high. Yeah, for a lot of us, cortisol is like, whoo, through the roof right now. But we're trying to think, okay, I can exercise harder and that will change it. And I can eat cleaner and that will change it. But overall, when you are exercising, eating well, all these other things, and you're like, okay, sure, I might feel better, great, but nothing is changing in my physical body. Or these certain things aren't, happening, right? Why isn't it happening? It's because these things actually get locked in fat cells, and then your body will not burn this unless you force it to physiologically tap into these fat cells and your system can flush it out. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of different organs here that are really important for this process. So fun, so fun. So what this goes along with is not just, I need to lose weight or I need to release this fat, right? People just say fat. They're really not talking about the cell itself. You're talking about the energy within and getting that to move so that that cell can, shrink. Yes, belly fat is the worst. Money for liposuction. It's funny. So liposuction is the only way you would change the number of fat cells in your body. But there's a lot of women that get liposuction and then end up gaining weight still, or they're not able to get past a certain point because your body will still do this if you're not taking care of these underlying issues. I know, it's terrible. Boot camp, spin, hiking, you've gained 10 pounds. Right? Yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Trying to exercise more and you actually end up gaining weight because if you're not being careful about how those extra stressors, even though exercise is good, exercise is healthy, you feel better. It releases endorphins, so you're going to feel good. But it also releases more cortisols if you're not managing how you're exercising, what your body needs to recover, what your adrenal levels are doing, all these other things, right? And that can impact this more, which means it stores more. Great, right? Great. I know what you're thinking. Oh, this is fantastic. Great. Well, where is this going? How do I get rid of that? Let's stop this train. Let's stop this train and back it up over here. Absolutely. So I'm going to go through some of the things talking about this right here. But before I dive in, before I forget, here is a link to get on the wait list for my next 12-week challenge. So this is what I walk women through. A nutrition plan, meal guide, everything else that goes along with your hormones, with your physiology, with what your system needs to target here, right? It is amazing how fast your body can change when you are working with your system and how it naturally functions. And stop fighting it. Stop just trying to eat less. Eating less is not going to force you to target these things. Your body won't do it. And for those of you that have been trying, you're like, yeah, I know it won't do it. It's not doing it. I know. So this is what we do in the 12-week challenge. Click the link, get on the wait list. I can only take so many people, and the registration opens September 18th. I'm telling you this now because the wait list, the registration fills in about 24 hours usually. Because I work with, I have another doctor, Dr. Victoria. We work with everybody very, very closely, making sure that you are getting exactly what your system needs, right? And there's only so many people we can work with at once. So, other resources for you. I have info in my book, The Female Fat Solution. This is on Amazon. You can get a ton of info here that talks more about, eating for your hormones and your cycle. So there's a lot of great resources there. I have a podcast, The Female Health Solution. Tons of info is on there as well. And then my YouTube channel is called Dr. Beth Westy. All my videos are archived. I have years of videos. And I keep making more. Obviously, I do. Because you guys have good questions. You guys have great questions. So keep the questions coming. If you have questions, let me know and I can do a video on it. Bloated and crazy cravings. Yes. Oh, I feel like I should do a video on that. Yes. Because that's hormonal too. Yes. Okay, so fat cells, right? You don't gain or lose them in number. They just blow up like a balloon or shrink. And when they're blown up like a balloon and they have hormones, cortisol, which is a stress hormone, or other toxins within them, they will not shrink. These are not going to shrink. I don't care how hard you're exercising. I don't care what trainer that you're working with. It's not going to do it. I don't care what type of fancy diet you're on or whatever fat burning supplement is you're taking. It's not going to do it. Why? Because physiology. Because that's how your system is designed to keep you safe. And for those of you that have spent so much time, energy, money, and all these things, that have led you down the same path of, okay, well, maybe I lost 10 pounds, but I still have 30 more to go and I can't get the rest of it off, or why is this all accumulating in my belly, blah, blah, blah. This is why. So hormones, meaning estrogens, progesterones, excess hormones that are in your body. If you have been on birth controls, had kids, extra stress, extra fat cells actually produce more estrogen. That's fun. What? Yes, because this is an endocrine system. Fat cells are an endocrine system. Isn't that fun? So then it produces more, which means it's going to store more. What? I know. Because your body's like, got to protect you. That's what it's doing. So it'll store it in there. Going through perimenopause, menopause, the shift and change in hormones where you feel like you got hit by a hormone truck. We'll store more right there. Menopause, super fun. You get a tire right around your midsection. Why? Right here. All of it. Yeah. I actually have an entire protocol for women in menopause. I have a whole 12-week for women in menopause. So again, get on the wait list, right? And if you have questions on that more, don't hesitate to reach out. Send me a message. Say, hey, I want to know more about this or this. Because the body in menopause is a whole different thing. But that's a big contributor. Your estrogens, progesterones, right here in there. Cortisol. That's the stress hormone, right? So the more stress you have in your life, can stress make you late on your period for more than 2 months asking for a friend? Ooh, okay. Excellent question. Provided that you're not pregnant, right? Yes. There's many reasons that you could be late or skip a period. Stress is the number one reason. There's actually a lot of gals that I work with and that I have worked with over the years. Excess stress in the body, over exercising, depleting the system. Sometimes this goes along with training for like a bikini show or fitness competition of some kind. Sometimes it's just life, right? Like you're under so much stress, whether it be work or school or kids or family or whatever, right? It is just what it is. And it can cause your system to delay so much. Meaning the stress that you are under impacts your hormones so much, right? So much. This impacts your hormones so much that you will not ovulate. Yeah. That's not fun, is it? Yeah. So by not ovulating, everything gets thrown off from there. Trying to get pregnant, but all our tests come negative. Yeah. So some of the best things to figure out where you're at right now. If you're like, I don't even know. I don't even know I don't even know where to start. Where do I start? A Dutch test. So my website is drbethwesty.com. You can learn more about that there. But this is these two things, huge factor. And this impacting this impacts this. It does. They all work together. Yes, they all work together and store more. Ah! Make it stop, right? Seriously. It's these basic things. And then toxins. What are toxins, right? All the things. Heavy metals that are in your foods, in the environment, in makeup products, in all these things. Plastics that are in your food. Yeah, plastics that are in your food. Yeah. Chemicals or, things that come off of plastics when they're heated and all these other things, right? All this stuff. Does that impact? Yes, it all gets stored in fat cells because it's your body's way of protecting you and your organs from having to deal with all this crap. Now, your liver is in charge of detoxing, right? But guess what? It has to detox all this and more and regular stuff. It gets busy. It gets bogged down, right? It's like a sponge that's trying to, squeeze through so much at a time, but eventually that sponge becomes totally saturated and it can't do any more. Well, what happens if you keep taking buckets of water, dumping it on that sponge? Sponge isn't going to do anything else, right? It's not going to be able to work anymore. That's like the liver when it has to process through all this stuff. Poor liver. Your poor liver. So in the 12-week challenge, which again, the waitlist is in the comments below, get on the waitlist. We go through how to help your liver process things through, how to really work through different phases of hormone detox, flush that out of your body, how to really target stress and cortisol from the outside and from the inside so your body can manage stress better, and how to really get rid of a lot of toxins in your environment, in your life. So again, your system functions better. That's how you release fat from your body. That's how you make those fat cells shrink. That's one of the ways. Then there's other metabolism tactics, because the other fun thing here too, I'm sure you realize this now, right? This is not new for you. When your fat cells are like this, guess what your metabolism is doing? Nothing. It's doing nothing. How is it going to do anything? It doesn't care about burning this. No, it's dealing with all of this. It's got a big job to do. Yeah. So as we release these things, release that stuff from fat cells, we have to teach your metabolism to actually work again so that you have more energy, right? That you are getting hungry throughout the day. All of these things are so, so important and key, right? Katie, for real, right? Yes. Jessica had an IUD for almost 2 years, have gained 15 pounds. Doctor swears that the IUD will not cause weight gain. Getting it removed in 2 weeks. If I were to get a Dutch test, how long would I wait after IUD removal to get the test? Ooh, good question. Good question, Jessica. Okay, so this is a really important question. It depends on the type of IUD, right? Some of them are hormonal and non-hormonal. Hormonal ones, absolutely weight gain. But the other thing is that when they say, oh no, you'll be fine, you won't gain weight, whatever, we have to be our own health advocates now more than ever. Now more than ever, we have to be our own health advocates. So I guarantee that a lot of the docs they're going off of average statistics on things, and that may be different in your system. If you're dealing with something different, if you have a different health background, it's going to react differently for you. That means that your best bet for being your own advocate is really whatever IUD you're on, go online and read through the entire list, the entire in detail pamphlet that you probably weren't handed in the office. Right? Yeah. I know. I would love to say, so personal experience here, I was actually slated to get an IUD at one point in my life after I had my firstborn, and he's 14 now. And I made my appointment. I went in, I talked about it with, my OB or whatever, oh yeah, yada, or on one of my checkup visits after having him. They were like, oh, what are you going to be using? I was like, I don't know, IUD, that seems good, right? Yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's get an IUD up there. And then I went in, I was literally in the stirrups. And then I peeked around and I was like, oh, hey, is this going to be weird? Because, I have this weird anomaly. I have a weird anomaly with my uterus. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, is this going to be different because I have this? Just wondering, just curious, I don't know. She was like, oh my God, I'll be right back. So there I am in stirrups, just chilling. Runs out of the room, comes back. She's like, yeah, you can't get one. I was like, well, this would have been helpful to learn before. Hello? At least they didn't just try and shove like 5 up there. I don't know. But they don't do that. But so this is my point with this, is that a lot of times they aren't going to be as detailed, diligent on reading every single line of that, which if you were to go and read it and say, oh my God, that's, yeah. I'm like sweating right now. I'm getting so worked up about this for you. That it does make a difference. It does make a difference. It does matter. It does matter, right? So, yeah. Yes, yours is hormonal, Dr. Mills, because you turned 30. That's the biggest bunch of BS ever. Yeah, it's not because you turn 30. You don't magically gain weight from just like turning an age. Oh, birthday happened. You're going to gain weight now. No, that's crap. I'm sorry. That's crap. That is not how the female body works. Please. Seriously. Ugh. I'm like sweaty right now. Seriously. Tracy, I was told the exact same thing. Oh my God. Right? Yeah. This is what they say. Oh, you gained weight. Oh, that's your fault. Somehow. No, read the things. I'm going to do a video on this. I'm so worked up. I'm like sweating right now, and I'm like, fight me on it. And I'm a big girl. I'm 6'2". I will fight them. No, I'm not that aggressive really. I'm just a very large human. It's fine. I'm fine. If you see like pictures of me with other people, I look like a giant because I am. It's cool. It's fine. Anyway, yes, I'm going to do a video on this, weight gain and birth control. Yeah, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow for you guys. So stay tuned for that, because this is absolutely part of it, part of the hormonal thing. And if your body is not processing it, if your liver can't process through it, you're going to gain weight. You're absolutely going to gain weight. I was on birth control in like high school, college, absolutely gained weight. My sister, same thing. Yeah. It's insane how much it interferes with how your body's metabolism can work. Yeah. And then sometimes when you go off, you're like, oh, this is better. Yep. But it's not like all the way back. Why wouldn't it be all the way back? Because you get locked in those fat cells, and then your body's like, oh, I'm going to hold on to it forever for you. You're welcome. See, I'm still sweating. I'm really getting warm. A sweatshirt was a bad choice right now. Okay. So otherwise, right now, talking about belly fat and hormones and cortisol. Anybody else's cortisol rising right now because of this? It's a little late to have the cortisol spike this much, but this is really this is a big deal. This is thanks. This is a big deal to understand, and this plays into it too. But absolutely, this hormonal piece is a big driver to your weight gain. And then again, no matter what you do, it will not budge. It will not budge unless you start addressing the hormonal issue. So again, we do this in the 12-week challenge. We talk about going through hormone detoxes, what to do if you're getting off of a birth control, all of those things, how to reset your system, right? Get yourself a solid foundation, right? That's the biggest thing. Work with your physiology, get yourself a solid foundation. So often we're trying to work with the structures within the house, right? Like if you're trying to hang a picture and the picture keeps going crooked and you're like, no. And then it keeps going crooked and you're like, well, come on, no, it's gotta be straight here, but why does it keep, come on. If your foundation is off, your pictures are gonna be off, all of them. Where you can keep trying to fix pictures all day long. You're gonna have to do it again and again and again every single day until you level out your foundation. And that's what we do in the 12-week challenge. Yeah, whole different way of doing it. So if you've got a question specifically for you on something else that you really need guidance on, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm an open book. I'm always a resource for you. I have a ton of other resources out there, like I've mentioned, podcast, book, YouTube channel, all those things. But again, so this is not easy to dive into. It's a lot of work sometimes to look up like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize blah, 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 blah. And then somewhere in some tiny little print on listed side effects of the medication that they'll say, or the IUD, like, oh, weight gain, blah, blah, blah. Well, see, it is on there. Yeah, it is. It is. It's on there. Such a good time. Yes. Mary, yes, I gained weight from the shot. Years later, the IUD was not the business for me either. It's not the business for me. Wasn't the business for me. Gotta tell you. My husband, snip after our 3 children. That was it, It's good to go there now, right? Yes. Okay. That's what I got for you guys tonight. This is exciting. I like talking about this stuff. And I really feel, I love that you guys are so engaged, because I really feel like this is opening up some avenues for you, realizing that, oh my God, like it's not your fault, right? You essentially were lied to. You were misled. You were going down a path. You were given a map, but for the wrong city, right? How's that going to help you? If you're in New York, lost, and somebody hands you a map for LA, is that helpful? No, not helpful at all. So let's get you the right map for your body. Let's figure out what your system needs, and then start working with your physiology to help your system function better so you feel better and everything works better. Yeah. Okay. If you found this helpful, please share it with somebody else that you know that could use this message. Most women are learning more about their bodies and health and physiology just because we're doing the research ourselves. We're doing the hard work ourselves. So I thank you so much for tuning in, watching, listening, asking amazing questions. I'll talk about some, birth control and weight gain side effects and stuff tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, have a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys later.